Hey there, it's Duke Ferguson, owner, CEO, and master trainer of Unleash Potential Canine and creator of Dog Training Genesis. In this video, I want to show you an example of how I would use, or basically how I start training the art of attention with a dog that has aggression issues. Now, this dog's issues are stem from obviously fear and insecurity, but he's lunged and done some things to people that aren't appropriate. So, I'm also going to show you the different type of muzzles that I would put on the dog. I get a lot of people ask me, "Hey Duke, how do you deal with aggressive dogs?" Um, and my reply is always the same. I say, I don't really deal with aggressive dogs any different than I do any other dog, except for the safety protocols and maybe some of the exercises that they need to, help build some confidence or desensitize them to certain things. So, in saying that, one of the things that I find most important to do with any dog is the core foundation work that we do, and I teach them how to pay attention and build a relationship. So, what I teach right away, and it doesn't matter if it's a dog that's just happy-go-lucky and jumpy and out of control, or a dog that's got some fear issues and wants to be aggressive, or any type of aggression. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Behavior depends on the behavior. The dog needs to learn to pay attention. So that's what we really teach, and that attention will help you with what you need. So the first thing that I recommend, and I recommend this to every dog, is first you must know how to build a food drive. We build a food drive, and you must have ignition in the dog if we want great success. Okay. Now, do you need food and food drive in training? No. But do you want what kind of result do you want, and how good and happy do you want the dog to be? So my recommendation is first build food drive. Okay. Get ignition. The second thing is I teach markers. In order to train a dog, you need to clearly learn how to communicate to the dog and give meaning to words. Words the dog understands that he's doing good and that he's not doing good. You can use whatever markers you want. If you want to use a clicker, you can use a clicker. If you want, I choose a lot of times, I just use my mouth because personally I lose things and I can't find the clicker all the time I want it. So teach your markers. The markers I use in this video that you're going to see specifically is the word break, which is the release cue, the marker that he's done his thing, he's going to get rewarded. I also teach the word good in this video, which I don't do a lot of anymore, but you see it and you'll see where it locks the dog in behavior. Good means stay. I don't teach stay. The other thing you're going to see is, I believe, the word no, which is okay to tell your dog. So if anybody tells you not to, then they're lying to you, okay? So the next thing that I want to start implementing is boot camp right away. Now, what is boot camp? Boot camp is basically nothing and life is free. This dog is going to start learning to earn, and I do this and implement this with pretty much every dog that we start to train, no matter what, which also helps with the leadership skills. Now, I teach my owners, my clients, my students about the leadership skills and how to start implementing that. So once we have these things, and that's the very first thing that we do in our dog training systems and get the dog set up for success. And you know what? It pretty much, it sounds crazy, takes care of about 80% of our journey. The rest is in the training and using the tools and technology of what we do in the system. Now, because I'm dealing with a dog that has aggression issues and he does inappropriate things to people and it's human aggression, I take that old vet muzzle you've seen in the first video and I'm going to start replacing it with a safe muzzle. This is a Jafco muzzle, and the first thing I do also is I punch a hole in the front of it. So we cut a hole in the front of it so the dog can actually get fed through it, because avoiding situations, not good protocol for training. Getting the dog into situations, because you have no choice in public and certain places. Ideally, we wean them into it, then that's what we do for training. But you do need to get the dog into situations where he needs to start to learn how to deal with things and learn. So here's an example of the dog in week 1, the very first week. The only thing that I did different, other than getting the food drive and the markers instilled, plus the boot camp and leadership, is they worked on muzzle on and muzzle off. So the dog's hungry, food motivated, willing to work, and the muzzle's going on and off. I'm just going to show you a little quick example now. I'm teaching the dog now how to look at me. And I'm using the food as a distraction. As you can see, I'm not luring or bribing. Now you can do that to prime the pumps early stages, but if the dog really has ignition, if he's really motivated, as you can see, this dog he really wants that food, right? Which is a beautiful thing, because now his brain's not on, hey, scary Duke, I want to bite him. He's like, hey, Duke's got food, how do I get it? And now I'm teaching this dog, okay, first it was muzzle on and off, that's how you ate that week. Now it's paying attention, looking in my eyes. Because looking in my eyes is no longer scary. and he's learning how to do this without lures and bribes, which is important.
Break. Break. See how much faster it starts to become? He's starting to get it. And he'll forget it, and he'll get it again in the next session, and then he'll be really good at it. So what I do, you must ignore reward, look to me, and get reward. Break.
So one thing you'll notice is right now at this stage, I'm not really naming anything. I'm just getting him to think, paying attention, learning to think, use his brain. And the first thing I do is I get speed. Once I know I can get the behavior, then I start naming it. After that, I start then for duration.
Good boy, buddy.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I normally condition a dog to an e-collar. And yes, even a fear aggressive dog can be conditioned to an e-collar. It's not the collars that make them aggressive if you do it right. Okay, now if you do it like poor methods, yeah, you can give some associations that are not good. So e-collars are both phenomenal and not so good. It depends on how you use it and what tool you use. We can go with that into another video. What I'm going to do right now, and this is not an e-collar conditioning video, but what I do, I'm going to just show an example of how I would use the collar to get the dog to learn to pay attention, because we really use it more so as an interrupter out of the distractions to refocus on us. And when I'm conditioning, before I do any look or attention work with an e-collar, I will actually condition it with positive associations to come to me, to sit, to come with me to play and go to a place and things like that. And the dog learns what the collar means and learns about our system a little bit more and has some maturity in it. So it's a couple of weeks now, and then I'll start actually getting the dog to learn that stimulation when he feels it is to turn around and pay attention to me. And it's a fantastic way to actually train even deaf dogs. When the dog feels stimulation, he learns, hey, I got to go pay attention, and it equals food. Okay, so we do pair it with positive associations so the dog has a really good demeanor to it, and they're not fearing it, and they're not confused, and they're not associating it with many other things. And the levels don't really have to be very high. The dog actually dictates the levels. That'll be another video someday in the future for education, because there's a lot of confusion as to what levels and how. But like I said, I'm just going to do a quick little demonstration just to kind of give you an example of what it could look like. I don't recommend, like I said, that you see this video and go, wow, I get an e-collar and push the button and my dog's going to learn to pay attention to me. That's not the case. There's procedures you got to go through, and this is only a quick little video just to kind of give examples. But there's the example you can see in the video. Now, I would recommend if you're going to do that, that you can contact us, one of my trainers, or we have online videos you can get, and you can get great success. And the videos are much more in depth than what I'm teaching here for sure. And my trainers are much more in depth than what I'm teaching you here in this short little video.
More important that you're teaching the dog, this means pay attention, buddy. Poke, 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 pay attention. So if I go behind him and I say to him, poke, poke, turn around and pay attention to me. You're not in trouble. Good boy, he faces me. Excellent. And I have the bribe reward here. But now, the bribe reward is over here because it could be a distraction. So there it is over there. Button, button. Good boy. Brick. Right? The button is for attention. Pay attention. If you have his attention, the dog is facing me and his ass is facing you. I have no barking, I have no growling, there's no freaking out. He's not fearful of the remotes, not pointing and threatening. But he learns. Stimulation means look at me. So there's the distraction, button, good. And I move the distraction. He looks to, good boy. Then I can name it. Look, good, break. Look, good.
I'll teach this exercise until it's really solid in private, and then I'll go into environmental situations where distractions are.
So as long as you know when he's not looking at me, tap, 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 tap. I'm going to hide the remote because I don't usually do this, right? The remote's back here, distraction, tap, tap, tap. Good boy, yeah. Frick. This is a dog that weeks ago I would look at him and he would freaking go at each of me. There's the muzzle on the floor. So over here, tap, tap, good boy. Break. The food will get attention, bribery. Good. We go through a little phase now. And the remote now is teaching him you must pay attention because looking to me is good for you. Ignore the reward now. Look to me, but you have to, because if he does not want the food, if he wants to eat you or the guy across the street and you're hitting the button, he learns to turn around and pay attention. This will get attention. Not always this. But I pay with this. And he learns, hey, paying attention is good.
So I know there's a lot of information in this short video, and at the same time there's not enough. I hope you found it of value. Just to give you an idea, I just made it, trying to keep it short, to show you a little bit of a process and examples of how we would do attention training. If you want to find a trainer in your area, contact us now. You know, we want to hear from you. Unleashpotential.ca. If you want to go to the trainer school, the shadow program, if you're interested in that, if you're a trainer and you want to better your skills, look us up. Or if you're interested in online training videos, no matter where you are, if there's no trainer in your area, you can go to our website. Now, to make this convenient for you, I'm going to put all the links that you need or that you would like in the description box below. So just take a look below the video in the description box. And as always, thanks for watching. Make any comments below if you want to see other videos, and I'll do what I can to put something together for you.